Greeting folks, Cross Train here, and today I'm coming to you from a brand new game. It just came out in early access on Friday, a couple of days ago. It's Sunday as I tape this, and it is called Foundation. It's a city builder, uh, and I've had it on my wish list for quite a while, so I've put about 10 hours into it this week, and wanted to share some of the things that I learned because it's not real, doesn't have a really in-depth or really any tutorial in the game, so just figured I'd share some of the things that I've learned. So let's get started. We're going to roll with one of the 5 different maps. They are static maps. This is early access, so maybe that will change, but they are static maps. As you can see, it's quite a beautiful world. And this is the map fluvial. It's a fluvial map, so there's a hills, there's a mountains, there's a coastal, there's I forget what the other ones are, but regardless, valley and one more, I can't remember. But I decided to try this. I played most of my warm-ups, if you will, on the coastal map, which is kind of cool, but I wanted to try this map out, so I figured I'd share it with you guys. So this is a city builder. It's very, very, very interesting. I still don't understand everything about it, but I did learn enough to get you started down the road if you're interested in this game. So we are going to get started. First thing we got to do is pick our first plot of land. It does give you some options. You see all the tiles that have the white squares, or the white, I guess those are, what are those, octagons? And but I have decided I want to do one that has waterfront, so that I can set up fishing relatively soon. So I'm going to go ahead and get this one. You get the first piece of land for free. And now the first thing we got to do is build a village center. This is kind of where all new villages report to. And I am going to take that and I am going to place it right in the middle. I want to make sure I don't take down any of these trees, because these trees could be harvested. The pines, the oaks, not so much. So I'm gonna put my city center right here in that. There's my 8 starting villagers. And so first thing we're going to do is we're going to have to set up a couple of pieces. Okay, so they want us to raise our villager status to commoner. I think we start as, what are we? I don't know. Serfs maybe, or something even before serfs. So here's how I like to, before I do this, I'm going to set up my screen the way I like it. Here's my resource panel right here. And take this, I'm going to put it right over here. This will grow as we go. And then I want my people panel. There's my villagers. So this is just kind of the way I like to set it up to start with. So first thing I'm going to do is I am going to make a couple of these guys builders. So as soon as I lay out what I'm laying out, then I will have people start. So we're going to go over here. You got berries here. This is going to be our food, so we need a gathering hut for that. You take your gathering hut here, hold your control button, and just move your mouse around, and you can rotate this as much as you want. So I'm going to take it and put it, let's put it right here. So they will right-click to let go of it. You'll see there goes, I don't know, one of them heading off that way. Second thing I'm going to do is there's stone over here, so I'm going to get the stone cutter camp. And again, I am going to, let's take this and rotate it this way. And I'm going to put it right on the edge of our territory. Put it there. I'll have another builder. Actually, I'm going to make one more builder here. And because the next thing I want is I want a woodcutter's camp as well. Let's put that right over here. So let's go with my lumber camp. And we are going to, let's put that right here. And my third builder will head off and get that done. Now, once those are done, I can go ahead and assign workers to those particular. Okay, so the gathering hut is built. So if you just click on the gathering hut, I can do assign available villager, and it will take one of these unemployed people and put it in the role, or I can pick somebody from here also and make them the forager. So let's do it that way for here. Okay, so we've got Claude, who's going to be our forager. As soon as these other, looks like the lumber camp is done. So let's pull up the lumber camp, and we'll just assign. It takes Emily to do that. Now, the other thing you have to do, you'll see that these guys, it's kind of cool. They'll create their own paths as they walk from place to place. So the next thing we're going to do is we are going to take this paint brush here, which is our painting development zones. We've got to create extraction zones. If I hold my control key again and I do the mouse wheel, then I can scroll that way. And then you're just going to paint. I'm going to paint this area where the pine trees are, and that's going to be my extraction zone for the lumberyard. Same thing's going to happen over here with the stone, and the same thing has to happen over here with the berries. So paint the extraction zones where you want them to take stuff out. Going to assign a lumber, so we'll assign somebody there. Very good. We got Hans is going to be our stone cutter. And actually, let's, I want to add another. I think I can put 3, yeah. So I'm going to put one more here and one more here as well. Now, the next things on our list of things to do is going to be, we got to give our villagers water. So my plan, once I get this cut down here, is actually I think I'm going to build my housing over here, and because my plan is to expand this way. There's a iron deposit over here that we're going to want to get to eventually. That's about 2 or 3 territory expansions away. So I think I'm going to do my housing in this area right here. In fact, I'm going to paint a little bit more of an extraction zone right over here so I can take these trees as well and just clear it for housing. So we'll do that. A couple things we're going to build now. Water. Need some water for my villagers, so let's go ahead and put that down right here. My builders will build that. And then I also need, if I go into the monuments section here, I need a market to sell food. So I'll go to a food stall. I'm going to take that. Again, I can rotate this. That white ball in the back, that's a side that the salesperson sells from, I guess you'd say. So I'm going to take that. I'm going to put that right there. And on these monuments, you have to click Start Construction, and it will get built. Now, let's kind of go over the UI just a little bit here. And so we've got a cap of 500 gold, and this will fluctuate. The game will allow you to go into the negatives, run a negative balance before you, and then it'll come back. I don't know how long it allows you to run there. I have never been there very long in the negatives, but again, I know that you can go into the negatives. So 500 is a cap, though. So you can never, until you upgrade and you build a manor, you can't get more than 500 gold, which, again, that's somewhere down the road. It's several hours into the game when you can build a manor. You can see your global happiness. Our villagers aren't real happy right now, but that's because we don't have a whole lot of anything going on. You can see I've got the market. I'm just waiting for that to be done. Now I don't have any available villagers, so I'm gonna take one of my builders and I'm going to make Victoria the market tender. So she is going to now work in the market. If I click on the market here, you see it's got one slot to sell things. So I'm going to click on that, and the only thing I have to sell right now is berries. So this is kind of part of your economy here. Your markets sell food and later in the game goods to your villagers, to your townsfolk. So that will happen later. You can see I've got all kinds of quests over here. So my villages have reached surf. I forget exactly how that happens, but now I can actually create a residential area and start building homes. So I'm going to do that in just a minute here. 6 new buildings are unlocked. This message right here from the kingdom. Kingdom has recognized your efforts in establishing your settlement. And then we just say, I am but your humble servant. And in doing so, it gives us what's called influence and splendor. This is one of the things I'm not 100% sure how this works. I know it's necessary in the game, but anyways, we're just going to say thank you very much and get some labor influence and some kingdom influence. Yeah, I don't have any housing, so that's why. You can see we are now producing. We got 26 wood in the lumber camp. I think you can get up to about 100 items in each of these camps. So we got 5 stone right now. Berries, we've got 1 berry, but that's because the market probably also, has 13 berries. Okay, so I'm going to put my folks to work by doing a residential zone. So you can see I've now got a 3rd type of zone. So I am going to take my paintbrush and I am going to paint right over here as an area for housing. I think this is where I want to go because eventually I'll go over into here. So now I should have some workers that will actually go over and start. You can see there already got the first house going in right here. So they will, like many games, requires 10 wood. They've already brought 10 wood over. Philippe is actually building the house. You can see another foundation just went in here. Another one went in here. So we are rocking and putting some housing in as we speak. So while they are doing that and getting the housing set up, a couple of things that I also want to get in early in this game. The first is going to be a warehouse where I'm going to store my stuff, because once these fill up, obviously, when this gets to around 100, then it will just stop. It will just stop. So I want to give it a place to collect. So we're going to do a warehouse, and I am going to kind of create a zone over here that's actually, you know what, let's do it this way. I want to put this right here. I want to do it without disturbing. Yeah, we'll put it right there. Okay, so our builders will go ahead and drop that in as well. I only have 2 builders right now, so I'm going to give them some work to do. The next thing I want to do, again, is I want to get a sawmill in. The sawmill is going to take the lumber. You can see when you actually let me. So your sawmill, you can see that it will produce planks in exchange for wood. So again, I'm going to take my sawmill and I'm going to put it right here. I like to work around these paths that are here, so I kind of like the way that they set up. So I will put that in here. Oop, I got the warehouse going in. I think I may have just been silent while I was talking to you for a very, very long time. Ah, well. So, got the beginnings of our little town here. Got two houses complete. I've got a third one going up here. I've got a fourth one going up here. I've got our warehouse going in here to store goods. I've got the sawmill going in here to build planks. And then the stonecutters camp is the next thing. And again, this will, no, we already did the stonecutters camp. I want the stone, I don't want to do that yet. That's a little later down the road. What else do I want? I don't really care about any of this stuff. That's pretty much all I need to build for the time being. So, if we go into here, we'll see, oh, we've sold 8 berries for 64 gold this week. So you can see that the berries are selling for 8 gold per. We got 17 in there. This is all good. So you can see one of our quests here is raise your villager status to commoner and unlock a trade route. Okay, so let's go over. Here's a trade button over here, the second one from the right. Let's go up here and see what it's going to take for us to open this first trade. So what I need is 20 planks. So once the sawmill gets done, I can start producing planks, and then I can open up my first trade route, which is a important piece of this game. So let's see if I've got. So I've got. We're doing. We got 16 wood. We've got 11. So we're just gonna let these guys just continue to work the way they're doing. Another thing, and I'll show you this, even though I don't want to do it at this point, there is a forester camp. I have to wait till I get 12 people. So, like many games, as you can go up here to this village window, and you can see that, oh, I got 2 new villagers who are joining your village. So if I click on this, there you go. It's going to show me where they are. I don't know where they are, let's say, in relation to my town. Oh, there we are. Okay, so they're coming from the other side of the map. So they will come and they'll create all new villagers will come this way. So they're going to zip along till they join us here. Once they get here, I can assign them to roles. You can see on this village panel that I brought up here what my population is. It tells me when my next immigration is in 8 days, game days, and I can turn this off if I don't want anybody else coming to the village for whatever reason. I want to stabilize my economy, I want to stabilize my housing, my food supply, whatever. Then I can uncheck this and keep anybody else from coming. Oh, and we're going to go ahead and rename our village to West Yinzer. So let's go ahead and do that. We got West Yinzer is our town name. So again, so you can look at all that stuff here. So unlock a trade route and then raise your villager status to commoner. Now, once I do that, you can see the reward is 2 free territories, which is really good because then I can begin expanding, which is really, really nice. So I want to, I want to do that as soon as possible. Here we are. They're coming. So I want to do that. The way to raise my villagers to commoners is to build a church. If I go up here, you can see that as I build my influence and as I build my splendor, it allows me to unlock other buildings to unlock. Same thing when you talk about the kingdom. I can unlock other stuff as I build these things up. The church, the clergy, this is a pretty easy one to build up, and I figured out how to do that. What I'm not sure yet is how I build up particularly the splendor for labor and for kingdom. So again, I'll figure that out, and eventually I will let you know. So here we have again, I'm going to make one of these guys. Oh, the splendor of your village unlocked a new tier of unlockables. That's great, but it didn't give me any splendor when it told me that. So I'm not really sure exactly what this does. But I'm going to go ahead and make one of these guys a builder. And I am going to add another forager. I can get 3, so I'm going to assign one more as a forager because food is really important, obviously. So we are moving along. We've got the beginnings of this town down. This forester camp, I'll show you in the next episode. And what this does is this allows me to reforest, so I can. He'll plant or she'll plant trees, always pine trees, and so I can choose areas. There'll be another reforestation development zone that I can paint, so that they will go in and I can have them reforest, and then the lumber guys will take it down. So there'll be a constant supply of wood. That's we're getting on to 22 minutes right now, so I just wanted to kind of give you guys a start. There's a lot of things I've learned in a very short period of time in this game, and like I said, I've spent about 10 hours in my primary build in making this happen, and I am loving it immensely. It is not something that I would normally buy because it is in fact a early early access game, which I just have stopped buying, frankly. Okay, so my sawmill is done. I'm sorry. I'm gonna go ahead and take this builder, and I'm gonna make her a carpenter instead. So I'm gonna throw Lucy over into my carpentry so she can start creating planks, so we can open up that first trade route here. So then we can start really moving ourselves along here. So anyways, I have really enjoyed this so far. I'll come back and continue development of this village here with you shortly, and kind of continue to show you some of the things that I've picked up along the way to help your town thrive. So until next time, this is Cross Train from the new game, Early Access Foundation, a sweet little, cool little city builder. Let's go down and take a look at my towners. Look at that. She cool? There you go. Look at that. It really is a good-looking game when you get down here, too. Hey there, looking at you at the camp. Victoria, nice to see you. At any rate, until next time, this is Cross Train, and I will see you in the meadows soon. Peace.